So the main character finally finds out that the male lead kept that jade pendant that he broke all those years and had it fixed. He finally found out, and I was so happy when he did, because he was looking for something that the male lead told him he needed to find in that location, and he found it there. He wasn't supposed to find the jade pendant, but he did. He did. So in the first book, there was a eunuch or a minister that had come to the main character and had pleaded to the main character to help him free his teacher from imprisonment because his teacher was unjustly thrown into prison, and he was pleading to the main character to help him. And finally, in book 2, the main character went to the male lead and is like, you help me with this, right? You will help me, right? You will do this for me, right? This one big favor for me? He even uses the pendants to tease the male lead into helping him, and I was like, ooh, ooh. The full-blood sister's husband and the male lead ends up going on a travel mission with each other. They have to travel around and look into stuff. And during it, the main character also follows them, disguised as somebody else, and the male lead never recognizes him until the main character reveals himself. But yeah, the male lead never recognized him. He was suspicious of him, always guarded towards him, was kind of hating upon this dude. Even when the main character saved his life, he's like, you're suspicious. I don't trust you. I'm like, it's your husband. It was pretty obvious. The moment this dude appeared, it was his husband. But yeah, shit goes down. They find a village, a little hidden village that was growing the white dew powder, and they find out that the white dew powder had another name, the autumn night white. But yeah, this village was growing that shit. They were growing this shit. It was bad. And, villages around this little hidden village was also producing this shit. They were growing this shit, selling this shit. Even though it'd been kind of outlawed, they were growing and selling the shit. It was bad. The addiction for it was bad. And the male lead ends up getting addicted to it. Not addicted to it, but, he gets drugged by the hidden villagers. And the main character came to his rescue again, this time revealing who he was. And taking the male lead somewhere safe. And there they find out from a doctor that the only cure is basically every time the male lead has a craving, instead of having the drug, he either fools around with the main character, sleeps with the main character, or he eats candy. One of these is have something that will upset the craving without taking the drug. Ooh. And the more they look into the village, they find out the village was doing human sacrifices. Yeah, the village was doing human sacrifices. This village, when someone had came to their village, a Taoist priest had came to their village, the villagers found out he had a big piece of the drug on his hands, and they're like, oh, this drug is weight in gold, and how much he has is, really expensive. So they killed the Taoist priest and threw his body in the water. Well, unknown to them, the Taoist priest had a disease, a very infectious disease. But they assumed it was a curse placed on them, so whenever anyone got that disease, they threw that person into the water instead of going to the court and telling, hey, we have this infectious disease. No, they were killing people and keeping it a secret. Which again, when the main character and male lead discovers it, the character's like, why didn't he go? They go and report it, or why didn't the high officials report it? And they're like, the male lead's like, well, one, if the high officials knew that they had this disease and they were already covering up the fact that they were selling and growing the powder, they would have killed everyone in that village. Everyone would have been offed. And I was like, ooh, this has got messy, full-on messy. It was a mess. The reason why the main character can roam about with the male lead is because he has high advanced military braces that he wears to be able to go along with the male lead. And like braces, you can't always constantly wear them. He does still have to use his, wheelchair. He has to sit down and rest and take care of himself. He still has to take them off. And I just love that. I love the fact that he has braces, that he uses a wheelchair. I love this. I love it. The main character splits from the male lead and goes to see the commissary prince, and there from the commissary prince he finds out that his father had used the white dew powder and a disease to take down their, enemies years ago, that his father used those methods. And his uncle was displeased by this. And when the main character's grandfather died, he told the commissary prince to keep his grasp on it, never let that white dew powder ever hit the grounds again, never hit the central plains again, that he will spend the rest of his life guarding against the white dew powder. And the Commandery Prince did, until everything was going down on the, main character's family. Like, the main character's father passed, the second uncle passed. He had enough. And especially after what happened to the main character, he was furious. But he wasn't working alone, and he wasn't just working with that Dois man. He was working with the main character's third uncle, who the main character thought was just sitting, safe and sound in his position as Duke, was leading a life as a Dois priest. No, this dude was working with the Commandery Prince. The main character's third uncle was working with the Commandery Prince to cause the shit they were causing, to get revenge for the main character's family, because they were angry. And the main character's like, both of you, please stop. I know you're angry at my behalf, but you guys need to stop being overprotective pieces of shits. You're causing harm to innocent people. Like, you're angry at the Emperor for what the Emperor did, but you're taking your anger out the wrong people. Please sit down and sit back and let me do my shit. I'm a grown-ass man. Calm your shit. I'm like, tell them that. Tell them that. Like, they sent you off to serve in the military when you were 18. But the moment the Emperor tried to put his teeth in you, they're finally gonna say something and step up, but they're taking the wrong methods by doing it?